I'll tell you if it's live.
Let's hope it is.
It's gonna be going live any second now if you press go live.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, it's going live.
Yeah, we're live. We're live. Hey, we got it
Right.
working. I don't know if there's anybody there because I don't have it open, but hello, people. Welcome to EGL Extreme Gaming League. Tonight I will be your host. My name is Jack. Some of you may remember me from last week's ACC stream. Unfortunately, Triton can't join us tonight, so I am taking over the helm, and I've never done this before. So thankfully, I've got a lovely co-host in me tonight with Tim Krusvar. Hello, Tim.
Yeah, you might know me from ACC. I also do tier 3 comms. I did tier 1 for F1. And also, just as it is now, your game is completely frozen. Oh, there you go. Now it works.
It's fine. I'm just I'm getting the stream up on my second monitor so I can keep an eye on chat.
Oh yeah, so if you alt tab, okay, I get it. So I have no clue how any keys work in the multiplayer. I mean, in spectator mode here. So I'm gonna be learning this as well.
You joined in spectator, are you?
Yeah, I'm a spectator as well.
F3 is what we get for the nice
Camera
angles and stuff like that. If you press it a couple of times, it'll give you different angles, I believe. So you got like the helicopter cam and the track side, and then shift and how do you get to? I think it's if you press F2 a few times, you get to the broadcasting.
Yeah, your game is completely frozen on stream. Just there might be something.
Right, let me look into that.
I have no clue why. Yeah, so anyone that's in the chat, this was also makeshift. Sadly, Triton couldn't make it, so we just had to set something up super fast. So yeah, I think for the qualifying section, it's gonna be a bit messy now. Just getting all the settings in. I couldn't stream ACC because my computer is a bit too not optimal for that. So I just spawned it off onto Jack here to do it for me.
Okay.
Now it's working.
Yeah, I've made a second capture, so I've got game capture up. So
okay.
Hopefully this should work, and this way I should be able to sort things out.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I do not see who's in P1, P2. I don't know how to open timetables. Oh, okay. I don't know how to open the whole spectator on the times. But Timo's currently in first place.
I know F2 brings up all the broadcasting stuff, but I can't remember the keys. I can remember how to change people, but I can't remember how to change. Oh, this is going so well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, this is going perfectly. Aha, okay, car controls. Camera controls. We're just reading some instructions here. Like it's our first time. We look like a bunch of amateurs.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't remember what key it is to change. Hold on, let me. Let's message try in a sec.
What are you trying to do? Switch between cars?
No, to change so I can get car gaps.
Probably something on the keyboard.
It's probably something on the keyboard, but I don't want to
while
press
you're
random
doing that,
things.
Looking at the timetable, Timo switched to the Audi today, so he lost all of his points that he accumulated this season. But he is going to be rapid, or rapider that is, since he was quite fast before, but we all know how his relationship with the McLaren was.
Yeah, we've got a lot of guys in this field that have been practicing for the SimGrid World Cup Championship, trying to get into qualify for that. I don't know how successful they've been with that, but that means that a few of these guys should be very rapid indeed.
Actually got quite some new faces in reserve as well. You know, considering last week's race was, what was it, Spa? There's more people in this week's Bathurst than it was last week's Spa, so...
Yeah, it doesn't quite make sense in the old brain, does it? But yeah, we've got a few new faces here trying out, ready for Season 3, so... what a baptism of fire it is to use Bathurst as their testing race, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I think we might... I don't want to jinx it, you know, I hope everyone gets off cleanly, but I think the chance of that is going to be quite low.
Yeah, I think
I'm
this
still
will be one
trying
of
to
the...
figure out my keys.
I think this will be one of the few races where we don't see any incidents into turn 1, but I expect quite a few as we go through the mountain pass for the first time. I think that's going to be a little bit interesting.
The thing with this track is if a person spins in the mountain area, the hill area, whatever you want to call it, it's not really that tall. I mean, it's Australia after all, so... but if someone spins there, it's so tight, it's so easy to just get a whole pile up, so, you know, driver nameplates off.
Could very easily get quite messy
really
indeed.
Oh, I just saved the replay. It's not what I wanted. Heli cam.
Yeah, I'll let you do the all the button pressing whilst because I don't want to accidentally stop the stream whilst we've already had this messy start. So
Driver nameplates. That's not it. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's cameras. I clicked something.
oh, and that's Belasu going into the wall on one of his
Is this the right one?
qualifying laps. That's never what you want to see, is it?
I clicked some keys and I brought out the timings. Oh, it's up here somewhere. I'm clicking so many keys at once, I don't even know what I'm pressing. Oh, it happened again. Maybe, okay, I'm gonna press this line. It's not here. Aha. Press I.
Ah, you genius.
Yeah. I think,
That brings up the gaps
got
at
that
least. Oh, and U. So we got U is for on track. I is overall timings. And O does that. Lovely.
Okay. How do you switch between drivers in different positions now? That's
if you hold shift and use the arrow keys, it will swap between on-track drivers and their positions. So it'll go in like track order.
okay. Is there any way to skip?
Nope.
Like,
there is no way to skip.
Across the whole grid? Okay.
So yeah, we're on
Look at
board
Timo
with
though fighting and
on board
the
with
first
Chris
P1.
Stricker here on the stream. Got a lovely on-wheeled view from his cockpit cam as he's exiting the mountain pass. He's currently in 3rd place, so doing very well here, Chris. I think he's one of these people that's got in a lot of hours of practice for World Cup.
Also for the World Cup, he was practicing in the Ferrari, so he's in another car now. But the Audi is quite rapid on this track with the 2 straights. The Audi being quite fast in there. But then again, we know that. I mean, you drove the Audi for quite a few races, no? And you know how the curves are with that car. So.
Oh yes, this car definitely does not like curbs, and for what I've seen, there are quite a few of them around this track, so he's definitely going to be staying well clear of those.
Is he on a lap? He's about to cross the finish line, so let's see if he actually puts in a lap. No, he didn't improve.
No improvement, but
yeah,
still very quick. Only 4/10 off Timo in the top spots. So let's see who else is on track. Oh, Van den Hooydonk. Let's have a look at how he's doing. He's our current championship leader after a very successful last couple of races. So we'll see how he holds out. Oh, as he's let's cut away from that.
She lost it there.
Let's be nice to him and we'll cut away from that for him. Let's have a look.
There's actually a spun out port of Audi of Gaida there on top of the hill. I really do not know the corner names of this track. Veldman actually has a fan in the chat. Um, there's also the talks for the next season already started with people switching cars. I know Veldman is gonna switch away from that Aston Martin for next season.
Yeah, exactly. I myself am lining up to a swap to the Nissan, the almighty Japanese turbo brick.
Oh yeah, that definitely is a brick. Has anyone ever driven the car in 2SRL? I don't think so.
I don't believe they have in 2SRL, as we watch Ollie get it wrong through the mountain pass. A lot of people seem to be doing that in qualifying. They must be pushing very hard with the last few chances.
The gap between Karsten and Timo is actually really close, 800s between them.
Oh, that is very close, isn't it? Yeah. So how about you then, Tim? Are you lining up any interesting swaps into Season 3?
I have been thinking quite a lot. I really want to do the Audi, but then again, you know, I switched from the Ferrari last season to the McLaren. I felt like I had quite some pace in Silverstone and Monza, but after that, my pace was just completely gone. And I just grew to dislike the McLaren more and more. I was thinking going back to the Ferrari, but then again, I want to drive the Porsche because overall, it's a really good car. But then again, with the thing with the Porsche, it's I feel like it's gonna be the same thing of why I want to leave it than it was with the Ferrari, which is the lack of straight line speed.
Yeah, the Porsche is definitely one of those where it can take a bit of getting used to get it right. I myself drove the Porsche for Season 1 and had some successes with it, but ultimately it just was not the car for me. I don't have the experience in this game to warrant driving it, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is also one of the toughest cars to drive, but I know a car I definitely wouldn't want to drive is the Bentley that Tim Novak and his teammate are driving, who I forgot the name of, but is not in the race today. But that car, it's a boat, and it's got the wheel on the right side. I as a European that doesn't drive on the left hand side could not get used to it. No way. Qualifying actually ending here. Karsten is about to finish his lap as well. So
yeah, we'll see if he improves. Can he sneak pole? Oh, he does. He does. He's at a 2:01.3. It's currently a second, 0.15 second than Timo, but I believe Timo's on track somewhere. Let's see if we can find him. There we go.
He's just starting his lap, I think.
No, right on board as he goes up through the mountainside. Chumley in front of him, another strong contender, but one of those that hasn't been practicing for the World Cup. So we'll see if that affects any of the pace and the outcomes from this race.
Yeah. Also, Tim Novak was a contender with Hugo for the championship. So, but he missed the last 2 races, I think, because of the holidays. You know, it's summertime, people go in places. But now Hugo's missing races as well. So that really brought Karsten, not Karsten. What is it, Karsten in the champion?
No, Van den Hudding. He's the one that's currently leading. He's really shot up from out of nowhere, hasn't he?
Oh, as Cholmondelli there. Wait, I'm just gonna call it Chom Chom. I don't want to mispronounce that. So Chom Chom there goes wide.
Yeah, we've had confirmation from the man himself that it is pronounced Chumley, so Chum Chum is also acceptable.
Chumley, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those old English names that just never makes sense compared to how it's pronounced, so...
No offense to you, Sam, if you check over this, but my brain is, I don't have the capacity to remember that much stuff. We got people cheering on Veldman, now Satoshi's cheering up for Timo, so you know.
Yeah, Timo's about to cross the line right now. Let's see if he can improve anymore. And he does! Leapfrogs Karsten back.
Really? Yeah, really well done from Timo.
2:01.2 from Timo.
Maybe this switch. Yeah, maybe this switch for Audi really is paying off.
Yeah, the McLaren just. Well, he was saying in the practice that the McLaren was really struggling around here, but Karsten's lining up next on the grid in that same car, so I wonder if that's just Timo and the McLaren not getting on well.
He's otherworldly though, so. Also, is that Illinger or 3L?
Yeah, I believe that's Illinger.
Illinger, yes.
I think he's a friend of Timo's come along from somewhere.
yeah,
So.
that's wow. That's wow then. Yes.
Yeah.
So making his debut in Bathurst puts it P3 in qualify.
Yeah, definitely seems to have some pace here, so could potentially be one to watch out for in Season 3 if he comes full time.
P6 is also a debutee, no? I don't think I've seen him. P9 as well, Gaida. I feel like these are all new names. P15 as well.
Yeah, there's definitely a few people who are making their debuts. I don't know if I'd have chose this to be the track to do it, but you know.
Van der Hoering, P13, so not a really good qualifying for him. You know, I think Timo needed this one. This switch, I think in the McLaren from every week it was just getting worse. I don't think I've heard him like the car or be like happy with the car for a single week of this season. But ever since he took the Audi, he's just you know, he's loving life with as many laps he did for the World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, he's admitted that he wants to go all out for fun in these last couple of races, so making the swap to the Audi obviously means he feels a lot more comfortable with it than that he was in the McLaren.
Okay, is there actually going here for the start? Wait, is the chat gonna go out on its own or what? Marius is in the pit, so he didn't press that start.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Starting from the pit lane.
Here we go. The race is about to start.
Yeah, we're lining up on the grid, coming down towards the timing line, preparing, and away they go.
The lights are out.
Take storms into the lead, pulling a wonderful gap away from Karsten down into turn 1. Illinger quickly on the side of Karsten.
And behind them, Karsten side by side going up the hill.
Yeah, unfortunately there's going to be a lot of... I don't know if I'd want to be P1 going up.
Stays in front, but now Stricker and Illinger still side by side. Veldman in P5 behind them.
Yeah, fighting already behind them. It's going to be tricky going too wide into the first corners of this mountain pass. Very tight section on the first half. And tighter still in the second half.
Timo got off the line really well though. Veldman and Illinger behind Illinger is actually dropping places. Veldman got past him now as well.
Oh yeah, he must have had some sort of issues, or maybe just Stricker and Veldman's starts were just that good. Let's take a look a couple of behind, see what's happened to him. Yeah, he was dropped back a couple of places, slotted in right in front of Chumley there, with Novak close behind him. So that could be an interesting squabble to watch out for. We'll stay on with the leader though, Timo, as he makes his way down the second half of the mountain pass, down the hill for the first time.
I think going down the grid, there's people getting through the first lap of Bathurst quite cleanly, and hopefully it didn't jinx anything right now. But it's nice to see. It's nice to see them not crashing, and I'm going the other way to the front while I want to go to the back. Taros, who got unlucky by not pressing start, he's in last place, but he's only 3 seconds off of P17. So you know, people taking it nice and easy through the first lap, so it's gonna give him time to catch up. But it is hard to overtake on this track.
Yeah, that little bit of clean air at the start might make it a lot easier for him to catch up to the back group. So we're coming across the line now, completing lap 1. Timo very firmly in the lead, but Karsten still easily in his grasp. Just less than a second behind. Those two are starting to make a little bit of a gap behind Stricker behind them. Got a nice little squabble there in the background though. Yeah,
Stricker and Robles side by side going up the hill here. Both in the Audi, so their speed is going to be even, but Stricker does have the inside line here for the turn 3 coming up, or is that turn 2? Let's say it's turn 3. Turn 2. It's turn 2, my bad.
Yeah, Audi definitely seems to be the car of choice. And there's a.
Does he get the move done? I don't know if he was in front.
I'm not sure. We know from last race that, of course, Alex Robles here definitely has some pace behind him. I believe he got P3 at Spa last race, so he's definitely been having some difficulties so far. as we see the massive train of Audis making their way up the hill. Definitely seems to be the favourable choice today, don't you think?
As we said before in qualifying, Blaster here actually hits the wall a tiny bit, so... oh, and he actually hits it again.
Oh, as
goes
Belascu
wide,
going off
and-
behind. That's not going to go well for him. As Olive has already made his first pit stop, so maybe he's had some
And Taurus.
arguments with the wall.
I feel like Taurus actually had an incident as well, because he was 3 seconds off, and now he lost some time as well to Prix.
And that's Illinger and Veldman going
Freeman,
side by
so,
side as we go
got a
down
few
the back
back, and,
straights. Neither of these two cars, the Aston Martin and the Porsche, have particularly good top-end speed, so it'll be interesting to see who wins as Veldman slots in front of him. Must have had some sort of tow down the hill, maybe. Or maybe
Yeah,
the
the
Porsche's
Porsche is one of the slowest cars in a straight line. Yeah, the Porsche is one of the slower cars in the straight line, but it is one of the best cars on corner exits. It's got so much traction from what I know.
Yeah, the
But
fact that it's
aspect
got the
take up curbs.
yeah, the fact it's got the engine in the back of the car really helps on these corner exits. Of course, all of these cars are rear-wheel drive, so having that little bit of extra weight means it just gets that bit more traction than any of the other cars.
Looking in front of Timo with a 1 second gap almost already onto Karsten, so he got off the line quite well there.
Yeah, pulling ahead a little bit, isn't he? But
Further
Karsten's
down the
pulling further still on Stricker, so I think those are going to be our breakaway front two for the rest of this race.
Cholmondelli actually pitting as well. Chomchoms.
Yeah, I wonder if he's had a bit of an issue with a couple of the walls, maybe. Of course, this hill section is very tight, as we were going to say a lot of times over the course of this race. It's all too easy to...
I mean, think about it though. Pitting early when you're in traffic on this.
Yeah, you're right. It could be an interesting strategy call to
Timo
go
and
for.
Karsten are in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to wait and see later on to see if pitting and getting into that clean air is going to pay off for Chumley here. So we'll see if there's any fights going to be going on.
I don't know. Do you hear me like cutting out or?
Yeah, you are definitely
'cause I
cutting
feel
out
like
a little bit. Yeah, I'm trying to fill the gaps in where I can. So let's have a look. We've got Ruben van den Hudding down in P13 currently.
Looking down, there's already gaps forming there, so.
Yeah, a couple of cars looking like they've got a little bit of damage on their fronts already, so maybe we've had a little bit of squabbling somewhere around the track. Looking at Van den Hudding's front at the moment, and it's not doing terrible, but it's definitely seen cleaner days, shall we say.
You know, it's important to just keep it clean.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me that twice. I've had many an argument in these cars in my time in this league so far, so I definitely know how much time it can lose you. Just
I feel like my Discord might be dying out a bit. I said this game completely eats my CPU.
Yeah, you do seem to be coming and going here and there. But as we're on lap 4 currently, Karsten seems to be closing up a little bit on Timo. Both of them, of course, are still pulling a further and further gap on Stricker in P3. Our gap's currently down to almost 3.5 seconds. So I think these two are definitely going to be...
I am back, I hope it's better. I feel like my Discord is just dying. As Ollie actually spun out there on the hill section.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Hopefully he doesn't cause too much of a traffic jam as we go back and take a look. Everybody seems to be getting through okay, so we'll just see where he pops out as the timings change. So looking back towards the front again, Stricker seems to be pulling himself a nice gap from Illinger behind him. Although he seems to have Veldman firmly in his rearview mirror, I'm sure he'll be able to catch up that time a little bit as we go onto this back straight. Carsten is still closing and closing on the back of Timo, so Desley seems to be having this slightly better pace lap for lap, just slowly but surely reeling Timo in, hoping to find something of a sniff to get him to the front spot.
Yeah, but look at them both. They're just... He is pulling onto Timo, but Timo is still pulling away from Chris and Petri, so both of them doing a fantastic job right there. But I don't think we're gonna see a move, or if we are, it's gonna have to be a really thought out move with a couple of laps to prepare to spot out Timo's weakness where he's not doing so well, because this track doesn't really have any proper overtaking zones. Maybe a corner or two where you can do it, but besides that, it is quite hard.
Yeah, you're pretty much looking out for just those two main straights, really, aren't you? You want to set yourself up on a couple of corners before, give yourself a nice strong exit, and see if you can make use of that toe as you go down the hill on the back straight here. And we're going to take a look a little bit further back. Van Hooning seems to be making up a couple of places here. His teammate Kessel behind him seems to be getting closer and closer to the back of that black and pink McLaren there.
Yeah, Marco's making his debut.
And a very bright debut of that. It's a very noticeable car from wherever you are on the track.
Yeah. Also P9 and Bathurst as your first league race, or first league race into SRL. It's a good effort from him. I feel like if I was to race today, I would be nowhere in the mix. Or actually, I would be in the wall. That's where I would be.
Yeah, so I'd be one of those other people causing traffic jams at the top of the hill, definitely.
Yeah.
Van der
Hooning actually has some light damage on the front.
Yeah, he's making a move down into turn one, so we see if he makes it stick around the corner. He seems to have done that. Got the better of the fresh-faced driver there. So definitely some opportunities to make passing here. Although Tarkos is using the slipstream to fight back.
Still side by side going up the hill.
Yeah, he's not giving up without a fight. Fair play to him. Has he taken it? He has taken him as he comes around the second corner, Griffin's Bend there, as I cheat on my track map
really wide there
on my phone. Yeah, he's lost a couple of places there actually, unfortunately. Obviously committed a little bit too hard to getting it move done in that corner. Let's look for the back. Yeah, Ollie Stricker is in the pits at the moment currently, so must be fixing up any damage that he's gained in that spin earlier. Seems to be most people keeping it clean. From what I've seen so far, just a couple of spins here and there from Ollie and Belascu.
Also, Milos, he is not in the race.
Yeah, we did see him in qualifying, but I wonder if he's had some technical issues maybe, so he can't make the race. I know he's struggled in the past with his network connection, unfortunately, so maybe
it's also yeah, sorry for interrupting you. You can keep going. My Discord is completely dying out with ACC.
It doesn't seem to be a good day for people's internet connections today. It seems.
No. But do you hear me? Do you hear me properly, or am I like being a robot? Like
I hear you
every now and then.
I hear you properly when you're there, but it's very much you will cut off mid-sentence. But no, when I do hear you fine. There's no roboticness from what I can pick up.
Okay, I'm just closing every single lap I can find.
Yeah, Timo seems to be pulling a little bit of a gap again on Carsten. He's fallen back to 1.2 seconds behind him, so I wonder if that's to give himself a bit of a breathing room and some better run down the mountain, or if he's just can't quite keep up with Timo's pace at all. He definitely appears to be very strong today, Mr. Brown there up in front. So obviously really enjoying the benefits of swapping to the Audi for this last 2 races.
Olive and Ollie both pit already. I mean, Olive put pit, I think lap 1 even, or lap 2. Ollie pit now, so in P18. He had that spin. I don't know if he picked up any damage.
I would be surprised if he didn't pick up damage if he's spun in the mountain section.
Okay, I think I fixed all the issues. I completely downscaled my resolution to a 480p game with a resolution scale to 50%. So this should work, do wonders now. It feels like a game from the 1980s, but it will do the job.
Luckily, our viewers back at home don't have to see that. We've got a nice clear view here, and you do sound a lot better than you did before, so I think that might be just the right fix there.
Yeah. I just need to keep in mind to fix it for the next time I race. I don't want to race on this thing now. If I do, might as well race on a keyboard, because I don't think a wheel goes well with this. Look at the gap between Timo and Karsten though. It's just going like 1.5 and then drops down to like 0.8, then goes back up.
Yeah, they do seem to be overloading a bit, the two of them, as Timo has a light, tiny brush with the wall there. Interestingly, they are catching up to the back of Ollie Stricker in P18 there, so we'll see if that has a part to play in this fight at all, or if the two of them can start navigating this traffic that is starting to appear.
I remember when this DLC came out with Bathurst, I did so many laps on Bathurst, like when it came out, just because I really wanted to experience the track in ACC. And the hill section going uphill, I think it's so you go right, then you go left, then you go right again. That like uphill section before you start going downhill, you can, if you hook that properly, you can almost do it fully flat. Maybe like a tiny lift, not even a full lift, but just a tiny lift, just to get the car turning in a bit more. But you can do that section super fast, and it is super scary to do it like that. So all of them that are pushing this hard, you can be almost 100% sure they are doing exactly that.
Yeah,
it's actually Illinger in P4, really close.
I've only done a couple of laps myself on this track, but as I can assure you, my attempts at the mountain pass have not been clean, should we say, to put it lightly. It's definitely one that takes a lot of practice to get right, and a lot more practice still to do it quickly, like these front guys are here. As I think Chris Stricker has had some sort of issues.
Yeah, Illinger on the back of him, but that Porsche has barely any straight line speed, even with slipstream. He's having some trouble catching up to him.
Yeah, his last lap was a 2:06, so he's definitely had a less than optimal lap, shall we say, on his last one. That would explain the gap that's come up. As if I can get it to work, we'll actually go on board with Illinger for a little bit, just to show the viewers at home what it's like driving on this mountain pass and following a car. It's definitely interesting, I would say.
Yeah, maybe going on board with Karsten, because he is following Timo through those corners. And I think following a car, it is scary. You're in a bit of dirty air. It's hectic dirty air in GP3 cars. You barely feel it, at least in my professional sim racing opinion, which is not a valid opinion at all. But if you don't hit the brakes at time, you can just so easily hit the back of someone. But look at that, they're just pulling onto Ollie here.
Yeah, I believe these GT3 cars, they care more about the ride height for aerodynamics rather than the front and rear splitters and wings, as opposed to the F1 cars of today, who are all about that top air, aren't they? As Illinger makes a move coming into the last corner on Stricker.
He does have the outside line, but
no, he doesn't quite get it done.
As
Stricker unfortunately made that a little bit of a mistake. It just shows you how easy it is to lose positions in that, as a tiny mistake there from Stricker, and Illinger is just all over the back of him.
Well, we can also look at it this way, right? It's a good comparison in between cars of just how fast the Audi is in a straight line, and on the other hand, how slow the Porsche truly is.
Yeah,
even with slipstream.
He's just not making up any ground on the back of him, is he, there, as they go through?
And Veltman behind them, 2.5 seconds, he's also falling off. So those two are fighting on track, but still pulling away. As Karsten with a 410 gap, so he's pulling onto Timo here. So it might also be that the tires are gone. The track temperature is 34 degrees right now, so those tires are kind of melting. Karsten really close to the back of Timo now, and both of them pulling close to Ollie, who is currently P17.
Yeah, that is definitely very close together down that mountain section. It's, ooh. It takes a lot of skill to follow a car that close on corners that treacherous. I know myself have failed to do so many a times on other tracks.
As Ollie just gets out of the way, lets both of them go past, because they are fighting for what is P1 here. But let's see if Chomchom's pit is gonna pay off, because we don't know if he actually had damage or not. But if he didn't, and he did go pit just to push, he will be gaining quite some time onto these guys in front, or at least the midfield. He did start P6 or P7 or P8, one of those, right? I don't. As I said earlier, my memory is completely gone.
Yeah, it was definitely somewhere around there, as we just saw on screen. Karsten getting right up to the back of Timo's bumper coming to the last corner, so he's definitely trying to poke around where he can and see if he can find any weaknesses there. But easily navigated their way through the traffic.
Look at how close he is, and this is quite interesting, because the midfield, I mean not the midfield, the back markers, the lap cars, it's hard to get out of the way here, especially in the mountain section. It's so tight, you push the track to its limits. Everyone's trying to push to their own limits, but yeah, getting out of the way is gonna be hard.
Yeah, of course, everybody is racing their own race here. Nobody
know
really
when
wants
you're gonna actually go past them, so you know when to fight.
Yeah, nobody really wants to lose any amount of time, so it's just picking and choosing the best spots to.
There's actually a spun out car before them, a guy that who spun in the forest elbow, and he does leave the race there on the spot.
Oh, I must have missed that. Did you catch who it was? I'm definitely noticing a lack of somebody on our
Karsten, though, he's closing up on Timo.
Yeah, he's definitely not giving up without a fight.
It was Gaida.
It was Gaida, was it? Oh, that's unfortunate. It's a rough start.
It was Gaida. Gaida was the person that spun.
Yeah, it's a rough start for your first race in the 2SRL ACC League. But of course, it is Bathurst. It's a very unforgiving track, so definitely a baptism of fire of sorts. Watch them as they cross the line, make their way through turn 1, see if Karsten does anything. I don't expect him to make any moves up this back straight, so I'm going to drop back briefly and see how Illinger's doing as I completely fail to navigate my way through all these cars. It's so annoying how ACC doesn't let you jump to specific people yet. I really don't understand why they don't add that when they've added so many other details into this game, but there you are.
For some reason I cannot select.
Oh, and Ollie Stricker's spun round, and Chris Stricker's having a...
Oh, Chris actually spins out there.
That's Ollie that spun out. Chris has managed to keep it. He's definitely having issues. Caught the curb a little bit too much. As we said, the Audi really does not like those curbs, so I think both of them have probably had issues on that exit of turn 2. But that means that, of course, the Veldman can jump onto the back of Chris and see if he can work his way towards gaining a position. Hoping from a commentator's point of view that these guys continue to fight all the way through the race. I don't want him to make a move early.
Look at Karsten though, and Timo. 11-second gap already to P3. They're just pulling away.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a 2-horse race for the lead.
Karsten has a moment there. Karsten actually dives into the pits here.
Yeah, we're getting close to that halfway mark in the race already. It's flown by the first 25 minutes, so obviously trying to see if he can make some sort of undercut work, maybe get himself a little bit of clean air as he exits the pits. As we see Balasu and Chris Stricker also doing the same, diving straight into the pits. Leaving Veldman with some nice clean air between him and P3 or Villigner. I'm scanning through my timesheets at the moment. Interestingly, it seems to be that Tim Novak is not having a great deal of success. He's down in P11 at the moment. Of course, we've seen him win plenty of races in this season and last season. He's definitely one to watch.
I actually wonder now, is Timo's overcut going to come in handy? Because Karsten was losing quite some time behind Timo. I think he had superior pace from the looks of it. He was almost pushing him through some corners.
Yeah, it's that way up, of course. You want to get a weird view of the pit lane. I'm going to try and work out. You want to try and balance out tyre wear as your fuel levels are slowly decreasing as Karsten comes back in out in the pits. My timesheet is saying P6 at the moment. P8 actually, as I look at the relatives. So drop down a few places. If he was aiming to get some clean air, then he hasn't done a wonderful job of doing so on the back of Davy Bremen in that Porsche. So we'll go and take a look at the man in the lead of this race, Timo Brahm, sitting comfortably in P1 at the moment.
Yeah, sorry about this. I'm not of best use. I'm just trying to fix my my ACC because I hear you cutting out, and I know I'm most likely cutting out for you as well.
That's not a problem. It's, as I said, it seems to be a day of issues for everybody, so I'm not too worried. As we see Timo side by side with Novak along the first straight. Of course, Novak is pitted, so he's a lap down on Timo, letting him go as they come into the second corner. Veldman goes into the pits as well from P3. I think a lot of people are going to be pitting around this 30-minute mark. Of course, it's an hour-long race, so they're going to be aiming for that half race section.
And also needing to pit once more. Same with Marius Taros, who is my teammate this season, so no bias here, but I want to see him do good.
He's definitely had his quick moments, Mr. Taurus, so I wouldn't be surprised if he gains a couple of other positions as the race carries on. As I look down our timing sheets, trying to see if there's any fights going on anywhere. Seems to be a lot of people pitting. It means there's a lot of gaps in the track at the moment, which of course is very helpful. It's always nice to have clean air and make sure you don't follow anybody as Novak goes wide, coming out of Forest's elbows there. Not quite hitting the wall though, so he's managed to keep it away from that, but definitely lost a little bit of time.
Okay. I don't know, I feel like sometimes I just go in the past. But looking at the fights this race, it looks really good. It looks fun. It's a sad race to miss out, to be honest.
Yeah, it definitely looks like one of those races where it could have been really interesting to drive it. I myself just did not have the confidence to carry on with this league. I just was not enjoying my time in the McLaren after swapping. So I've got my eyes firmly set on to the next season. As we look behind over there, he was, of course, he was behind Bremen going into the pit stops, and he's come out in front of him as my timing sheets update. So he's obviously made the undercut work. Obviously being stuck behind that Porsche hasn't done him too well. Also, we've got all of our top 4 at the moment in the pits. Timo's coming in, so we'll see now if that undercut is working anymore. Let's see if we can jump onto Karsten. We'll see where Timo comes out as Karsten makes his way onto the final corner of the track. See, there's definitely a little gaggle of cars in the pit stops there.
Karsten actually coming across the finish line.
Yeah, we'll see where's Timo's. Is that Timo on the track in front of him? That is Timo on the track in front of him, so he's gained a little bit of time on Karsten through the pit stops.
It's a really good pits from him, but Karsten showed he does have quite a lot of pace, so I think we're going to see him catch up to the back of Timo. But I think Timo could stay in front and actually towards the end finish the race by winning it.
Yeah, I think either of these drivers here could easily win this race. It'll just be a matter of who stays cleanest and who can get the most out of their new tyres as we go into the second half of the race now. So
all the drivers completing their pits. There was 19 drivers at the start, 16 drivers now, so three drivers left. We saw Guido live, we saw Milos not even starting the race, I think, and someone else that I'm completely missing out on.
It looks like Ollie Stricker, we're missing out on him. He must have decided not to continue after his incident. Maybe he's picked up some bad damage.
Yeah.
Of course,
so
that
unlucky from him as well.
Yeah, of course, his incident was at the start of the mountain section, so I know it'd be quite difficult to limp a car home with damage through there, so maybe he's just decided enough was enough for today. Yeah, but we see Karsten's already cutting into that 4-second gap between him and Timo. I think he's narrowed it by about half a second down this lap, so if he keeps at that pace, it might not be long before he's on the back of him and chasing down for that top position. But
to be honest, Timo with that pit stop, like he went in late, but getting 4 seconds by pitting 1 lap later, that was something else. So I'm guessing either Karsten had a really poor pit exit, or pit entry, or Timo had just a phenomenal one. Yeah. Keep in mind the pit entry on this track is quite hard to get right. I tried it once before and I did go straight back onto the track.
Yeah, just for confirmation there of how much Karsten is pushing, he just put in his best lap of the session so far of a 2:02.2. So whether that's because of the fresh tyres and the lesser amount of fuel in the tank, we'll see if Timo can respond to that. As unfortunately, it seems to be no fights for position going on in the race at the moment. Everybody seems to be got a couple of seconds of clean air for the car in front.
So this is where we have to make it entertaining now as commentators. You know what? what do we talk about? We went over the track. It's in Australia, so you know, kangaroos and stuff. There actually is a clip on YouTube of the proper Bathurst. There was a kangaroo on track. Maybe that should be implemented in the game.
I'm not sure how we'd add that. Maybe a little brown
Red flag.
Porsche Cup car coming along half the forest section, maybe.
Or the Jaguar, who knows? I think the Jaguar is quite a lot slower. Karsten actually falling off the back of Timo. Timo with a 4.4 second gap already. So Timo's also pushing quite hard. Maybe those fresher tires were better for Timo, but
Yeah,
I guess towards the end of the tire life, Karsten's going to be pulling that time back in.
Yeah, as he crosses the line, Timo there putting in a 2:02.0. So it's definitely quicker than, yeah, it's 0.2 quicker than Karsten's last lap, and 0.5 quicker than Karsten this lap. So Timo definitely pushing like hell to increase that gap.
Look at this though, Illinger in P5, he just put in a 201.9.
2:01.9. That's
so
impressive.
Really good level. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, also, Salminen in P4, really good showing from him.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of very quick guys starting to join this league, and as one of the more mediocre drivers, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Tier 2 maybe. Or, you know, we just get pawned down to GT4. Make mixed class races, please. On Bathurst, especially. Wouldn't you want to see, though? A mixed class on Bathurst?
Mixed multi-class on Bathurst. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
I would love to see that one. Just a mixed race as well. I would just love to watch one of those races. I mean, not watch, race in one of those. Should probably play a bit more of ACC.
Well, I'm saying nothing about mixed multi-classes and the future of ACC. I'm not going to give anything away there.
Oh, spoilers?
No, I said I'm not giving anything away.
Oh, come on. Man, you know, it's just for us watching, and me, of course.
Well, all I'll say is that there have been discussions about it in the ACC Council.
That's quite bog. I just noticed. Wait, there's only 15 drivers left, so everyone's guaranteed points as long as they stay in the race now.
Well, as I look through, I'm trying to work out who we've lost, and I'm not too sure who it is. You know.
Let me go. I'm good with names. I wouldn't know either.
Oh, Timo is still extending his lead. It's up above 5 seconds lead now.
Velasco maybe? When did he leave?
You know, I'm not sure, but I've just jumped back to Timo, and his last lap was a 2:01.8 as he loses the back going up slightly into the mountain section. So he's just putting in a blistering lap time.
You know, I remember season 1. People could just dream of a 201 in season 1.
Oh, I miss season 1 as well, don't you worry. As much as I hated driving that Porsche, I've managed to get a couple of top 10s in that, of which I have seen none in season 2, so...
No, I always talk about my Hungary performance from last season, but that's probably the only proper good race I had. I had the preseason race, which I finished P3, so that's like my only podium in ACC. And it wasn't even like official in the season, but you know, I'm proud of it. That is my podium. It was heavy rain, and I was definitely not off the pace by like a second or two, but I did manage to survive with the spin on the last lap as well.
Yeah, of course, weather always plays a big part in these races. Myself, Timo, and Chum Chum there, we took part in the SimGrid 3 hours of Silverstone this weekend, and let me tell you, that was not a fun race to be in. It was torrential flooding rain for Timo in qualifying at Silverstone in our little McLaren, which does not do well in wet weather in the best of times. And then it started dry for the race, and then just got progressively wetter and wetter as the race went on, which meant that, of course, the cars get a lot scrappier in the wet as people are trying to push for that little bit. So extra time, you lose a little bit of grip here and a little bit of grip there, and all of a sudden you've spun somebody else around.
You know, just keep it together, keep it clean.
I'm sure you'll be giving Timo flashbacks from that.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know if you've seen the clip.
Oh yeah, I definitely have. I've had quite a few laps of the clip as well. So, did you do the OTL 4-hour race of Silverstone that was like in July already?
I did, yeah. That was myself and Chum Chum. We did that in the Audi.
Yeah, I did that in the McLaren. I completely bottled qualifying, was on for a 57 in quali, and then I lost like 5 or 6 tenths. Qualified 20th on the grid, and then our race just got progressively worse and worse. Till one of our drivers actually like just quit with 10 minutes left, and he pit. Because you remember it was wet, but it wasn't wet enough for wet tires.
Oh,
right?
I remember very vividly.
So he pit me on like 10 minutes left, and we were down in 36. And I was like, okay, it doesn't matter at this point. I'm on like tires that don't have the pressures down because it's like wet. So I was like on 23 psi. I was like, you know, 36. I don't care. And I just started pushing. I somehow gained 3 positions in the last 10 minutes in that weather. It was the whole race was worth it just for those last 10 minutes for me.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of wet weather driving. Personally, I've have very minimal practice in it on this game, so maybe it's something I need to work on for season 3.
Timo was just pulling away with it though. Almost 6-second gap already. Coming onto the back marker of Olivier here.
Yeah, Carson's just slowly dropping back and back, isn't he?
Veldman 10 seconds away as well, so I think he's gaining some time. And I think Illinger might be ready. I mean, might be closing up to Salmon in here. He did put in that fast time before. I didn't keep track of their lap time now, but you know, like the gap has gotten smaller and smaller. As Tim Novak actually gets a move on Bremen, or Bremen spun out. I'm not entirely sure. It's one of the two, but Tim Novak in P10. So yeah, he was a championship contender before he won on that holiday. Also, you know, let's keep in mind the Bentley doesn't really suit him the most. So the fact he was that high up is a really well done job from him.
Yeah, as we're looking in the standings at the moment, Novak in 10 and Chumley in 9, so that's definitely not going to do well for either of theirs hopes of claiming this driver's title. But of course, Ruben is only up in P7 as our current drivers' championship leader. So this could potentially pull Karsten into the mix. As, I'm not entirely sure whereabouts he sits in the standings at the moment, but I believe it's reasonably high up, as he's had a fair amount of success in the league so far. Never claimed a win yet, from what I remember, has Karsten. But then again, neither has Timo this season, so I think both of them are going to be very keen to see if they can.
Timo is the defending champion, so he is used to winning, or let's say was used to winning this season. Don't want to say anything bad, but it was let's just blame the car. I mean, it definitely was the car after seeing today.
Yeah, it's definitely shown us all that it definitely was to do with his choice of car. As I can back that up, I noticed that I was definitely quicker in the Audi doing Silverstone prep between the 12-hour and the OTL 4-hour. Of course, I did took the McLaren out for the 12-hour and then took the Audi out for the 4-hour, and I was probably about a second and a half quicker in the Audi per lap than I was in the McLaren. So
that's what happened with me. I was like doing 2 minutes for high 59s with the with the Ferrari, and then I tried the McLaren, and it was like instant 58. Like first lap out, I was like, okay, what is this? And then I convinced my two other teammates, yo, let's do McLaren instead of Ferrari, and then I bottled it completely. So that was that. And now with my pedals not working, you know, just G29 things right there. So.
Yeah, as we're on board with Iligner here at the moment, he's definitely closing the gap up on Salmina, and I imagine I'm completely botching these guys' two names, but he's definitely pulled the Ferrari driver in currently. He's currently the only Ferrari driver in our field at the moment that's stayed in with this race. I've just noticed we've lost somebody else. We're down to 14 drivers now.
Who was it this time? Looking down the grid, I generally have no idea.
We're not doing a very good job of keeping an eye out on these people leaving, are we? Iligner is right on the bumper of Salminen as they go through the second and last corner.
Marius is really close to Tacos here as well.
You see if the Porsche make his move on that lime green Ferrari as they cross the line. He doesn't quite make it in the last corner. We see if he dies down the outside. No, he can't quite make anything move into the first corner.
Marius actually got the job done onto Tacos there. So
he moves up into P11 there. That's quite a sizable gap to Tim Novak in P10 though.
But Illinger here still going for a move, actually on the outside of Salminen here. He might get the move down with the Porsche. Better traction on corner exit.
Yeah, but
Ferrari is so good into those corners.
Yeah, the outside line into Griffin's Bend though, it's definitely not one you want. It's a very tight corner, and it's definitely better to take the racing line through there.
These two are going to be fighting for a few laps, I would say. I don't want to jinx anyone, but it is something happening on track now, so keep it up.
Yeah, as we say that, I'm just going to jump back a second because I'm noticing that Tim Novak is currently within a second of Chumley in that bright orange McLaren there, so it'll be interesting to see if there's any sort of gap closing or move making there in the next couple of laps as we're into the final 15 minutes of this race. It's going by very quickly for me. I don't know what you think about that.
Oh yeah, definitely. The first 30 minutes or so, it was just me fixing the game. But yeah, it's going quickly for me as well. My game window was going down and down and down, smaller and smaller, to the point where it is the smallest it can possibly get. But in return, my mic is working, so I mean, I hope it's working. I don't want to jinx. It's gonna work for the interviews though, because then I'm just gonna alt it for ACC and it's not gonna have a problem at all.
Oh, that's a very good point. I hope we have the ability to pull people into the interviews.
Oh no, we're just gonna get our good old friend Timo, because I think he will be one of the people we will interview as well.
Yeah, we'll see if we can bully somebody into moving people around for us. I'm staying on board with Iligner here at the moment. He's staying glued to the back of that Ferrari.
It's important to have the slipstream in the Porsche. As I said many times this race, I'm just becoming repetitive, like a toy from a Happy Meal that has like an audio thing in it. I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but he's actually on the outside here.
Oh, he's made the move. Oh, he's caught the wall a little bit there though.
But he keeps it in front. He keeps it clean. But
yeah,
Salmon is gonna fight back. No, he's not. So he is going to stay in front, and now he has to pull away. We know the Porsche doesn't have that speed, so he needs to do the most he can in the hill section here to pull up a gap onto the Ferrari,
Oh, as he's caught the curb and he's lost it at the top of the hill. Oh, and he's collected the Ferrari.
It's also not. And Salmon hits.
Oh, that's very unfortunate for the two of them.
Crash for both
That's
of them.
not what you want to see. As we jump back on board with Salmon, and hopefully he hasn't got too much damage there, because that was very unfortunate. That looked like quite a large hit there. Unfortunately.
Yeah, he goes back to the pits.
Yeah, that looks like race over for Illigner there. Ah, that just shows you, though, how treacherous this Australian track here is.
Salmon and also not gonna be in the best spot, having damage as well. So he is gonna try to get it to the end of the race. The Ferrari does well with front wing damage, but with the Ferrari, as soon as your rear wing gets hit, it's not gonna be stable through the corners. The rear wing on the Ferrari is so massive; it plays such a big role in the downforce and the stability of the car. So if you get that damage, you're not finishing the race for sure.
Yeah, he's not diving into the pits yet, so maybe he's going to see if he can continue on. He's got a nice, sizable 11-second gap to Chris Stricker in P5 there, so maybe he's just going to try and hold on and see what he can do.
Stricker also might get quite a few points if he does get the position here. The Audi will be pulling quite some time onto the damaged Ferrari now.
Yeah, as I'm jumping back onto Novak here, he's caught the gap right up onto the back of Chumley. We're looking at less than a quarter of a second at the moment as they finish this lap. So very close between those two at the moment.
Yeah, two British cars as well. One right side, right-hand drive, one left-hand. Is that how you say it? Yeah, I think so. So for me, it's one car that I could drive and one car that I cannot.
I'm going to let you into a little bit of a secret here, Tim. As a British man myself, you'd think that I'd get on quite well with the right-hand drive cars in this game, but it just doesn't seem to fit right.
I did try the GT4 Ginetta, which is also a right-hand drive car. But it feels so weird because you're always used to having a left-hand drive car, and you know how wide it is on the right side. But when you're on the right side, and on tracks like Zandvoort and stuff, with the slow left corner towards the end, and you know all of those corners, like when you actually hit the right-handers, where your wheel is, and you're not like you're hitting the curve, and you have so much more space on the left. Is
oh, as Chumley's bailed it. He's gone wide at the top of the mountain section, opted to take the slip road off that chicane. That's given the place to Novak. That's very unfortunate there. As we saw back in Zandvoort, the viewers will remember here, Chumley and Novak had a very long fight in that race. So we know that Chumley can defend very well against this Bentley, so it's unfortunate that he's made that mistake there.
Also, Chris caught up to 9 seconds on, so he's gaining for like almost a second a lap from the looks of it. So with 9 minutes left, he might get there towards the end of the race, get close enough to that P4. But if he's gonna to be able to put up a fight is a completely different question.
Yeah, that Ferrari seems to be dropping away slowly from the back of Veldman as well. So I'm wondering if that damage he sustained is not doing too well for him. As we look on board, yeah, his best lap has been a 2:02 at the moment, but he's doing 2:04s. He's currently lapping about 2 seconds a lap better than his best. So I'm wondering if the damage has got anything to do with that.
I think it definitely is. Chris 8 seconds already behind. Now 1 to 9. Happening to Chris. It's just this mountain area. Mountain, hill, mountain. You know what I mean. Everyone knows what I mean at this point. This is one of my greatest weaknesses. Me and track corner names is completely. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been cheating this race. I've got my phone in front of me with a track map set up, so I can easily keep track of corner numbers and names. It's not one of my strong suits either.
I know 2 corners on the track. I know the forest elbow, which is the start to the back straight, so it's important to get a good exit out of it downhill, and also the end of the hill section, which that is. And I know the chicane on the back straight is called the chase, and that's about what I know for the track. Okay, Chris lapping around a second faster per lap. Yeah. Saltmanen's lap was a 204.3, while Chris's was a 203.4. So that is a second per lap. But I think it's just not enough time for Chris to catch up. I don't want to jinx anything, but
Yeah, we're probably looking at about 3, maybe 4 laps left here, so he's definitely got to get a move on if he wants to do anything about that. Of course, he probably doesn't know that, he might not know that the car has damage.
Karsten currently still with a 5-second gap onto Timo.
Yeah, Timo's still looking very strong. I'd be surprised if anything happens to the top 2 in this race.
You know, I'm gonna say this now, and if something happens, I'm gonna take full blame. But I do think Timo has it in the bag here.
Well, I'm gonna hope for your sake that we don't have any commentators curse here. But
no, look, commentators curse does not exist.
Well, if you're gonna take full blame for whatever happens, then I'm gonna agree with you. I think Timo has got this one here.
I mean, with a 5-second gap, even if Karsten pulls up to those 5 seconds, getting a job done is not easy. We saw that. We saw him being behind Timo for almost 10 minutes before. He was following quite closely, but setting up a move is just not easy. Especially not against the Audi, who is one of the faster, is clearly faster in the straight line than the McLaren. And considering the overtaking spots are after a straight, it's yeah.
Yeah, I've got my eye on Tim Novak here. He's chasing down to the back end of Bas Kessel in that Audi. Novak has definitely seemed to put a serious shift on. I think in this lap alone it's closed easily about a second as he makes a move and he dives down onto the inside, cutting through the chase. Collects the curb, but I think he's made that move stick. As we come down to the last corner, we'll see if Kessel can fight back. He's moved to the outside. Tim Novak's defending on the inside. Kessel tries to make the switch back. Does he make it?
Novak goes for the inside line, so he will be defending here. Kessel's going to have a really good run on the outside again, but I don't think that is the line to be for an overtaking spot. But again, I think he's going to have a much better exit here, so they're still going to be going side by side up the hill, coming up to turn 2. Kessel might actually get in front of Novak.
And we'll see what the Bentley's front straight line pace is compared to the Audi as they pull side by side. I think Kessel might just be edging it as they come into this corner, but he's got the outside line. And as we've seen earlier, you don't want that outside line coming into Griffin's Bend there. As he just slots right behind him.
Still so close, still pushing Novak almost, but Novak did get the job done, and I think if he caught up to Kessel, he will also pull away now.
Yeah, as we see Chumley there in the background, let's let him catch up to Bas Kessel, so I wonder if he's going to see this fight and see what Kessel's pace is like and maybe see if he can catch up and claim an extra place.
These corners, it's important to be confident in them, and I think even if you're equal pace on like the easier part of the track, so let's say chase the first few corners, if you don't feel confidence in the car, you're automatically going to be slower. Even if you're same pace with someone else, you really don't want to bend the wall. Even if you feel a tiny bit of, let's say, oversteer or understeer a lap previous, you're going to take it more easy for the rest of the race. Easier. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I'm still keeping my eye on these standings here. Chris Stricker is currently down to 4.4 seconds away from the back of that Ferrari that we saw having damage earlier after colliding with the Porsche at the top of the hill. So I think he could be within the shot. I think they've got about 2 laps left. So
I think it's actually, yeah, it's this lap and another one. The next lap will be the last lap. Let's see where Timo is on track. As we saw, lap takes 2.2 minutes. I mean 2 minutes and 2 seconds. And Timo is in the forest elbow now, so that is around 30-ish seconds to the line.
Yeah, as we jump on board here, Chris is currently within 2 seconds of the back of that Ferrari as they come up the hill section. So I imagine he's going to be giving it everything right now, see if he can close that gap.
Actually, 0.7 already, 0.4. He's so close. He might be going for a move this lap. I think Salminen made a mistake there as well.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be that. He's closed up so much time at the start of this lap, so I feel like he's going to be very keen to see if he can close up that gap as they come down. Of course, we know the Audi has a very good straight line, so we're going to see if he can make the most of its exits as they come down that last hairpin and gun it as he already pulls across. So I think he feels confident for this straight as they're side by side already coming down the Conrod straight, and I think he's made the move. Yes, look at that. That just shows you the straight line speed of the Audi on this track, and what a good corner exit can
the
make.
The damage is not playing into his hand.
Yeah, absolutely. As Chris Stricker there climbs back up to P4, I just feel like he's going to be very happy with that result, especially after how this race has gone.
This Timo started his final lap already up in turn 3. I think you said some Griffin's thing there. So is that, did I hear that correctly before?
Griffin's Bend, turn 2, yes.
Yeah, he's already way past that. He's like, let's say turn 7, give or take. Whoa.
Looking at the track map, I think it's turn 9 at the moment. Frog Hollow coming into turn 10, Solomon Park as we ride on board for Tima's last lap. We come across Skyline here, the chicane where we saw Sam Chumley make his mistake as he dives right and then left again as it's nice little chicane back right. As we come down back hill through the dipper, coming into Forest's Elbow. He's gonna
now down the back straight.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to be very comfortable as he comes down this back straight. He's going to be just making sure he gets his car home nice and safely with a 5-second gap.
At this point, nothing can go wrong for Timo, so...
Let's hope you don't curse that. There's still a couple of corners left.
No, I believe in Timo. Full confidence. If something goes wrong, I will very unprofessionally laugh. Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah,
you see, I said nothing can happen to Timo.
As he takes the last corner, as he comes round onto the back straight, and as Timo takes his first win of Season 2 of 2SRL ACC. I'm sure he's going to be massively pleased with that, as we see Carsten finish in the background. He brought that gap down to 4.2 seconds at the end there. So I guess Timo must have been cruising as he does a couple of wiggles there of victory.
And Nico Veldman in P3, about to cross the finish line as well, so really good job from him as well. I'm actually gonna tell them, who do you want to interview? I think top 3, right?
Yeah, I would agree. Definitely Timo and Carsten we want in here. I think let's grab Timo, let's grab Carsten if we can, and let's grab Stricker. I want to see what was going through his head. Oh, as Salmon is making the move, dive down. Stricker takes the curbs. Oh, and Stricker's lost that place on the last corner. Oh, I think I spoke too soon. I think I've given commentators curse to Stricker there. Maybe we shouldn't grab him. That's very unfortunate.
Let's stick with Hagrid here. Oh yeah, that is really unfortunate. They're actually doing donuts, and Chris went into a wall there while doing donuts. So I don't think he's quite happy.
But Novak takes the line there. Kessel behind him, Chumley right on his tail. Couldn't quite close that gap, unfortunately, at the end. As Kessel crosses the line P8, Chumley crosses the line P9 because I believe Carsten's already left the session. And there,
also really good.
There we have it. As we see Veldman doing some donuts in the background. That is, ladies and gentlemen, 1 hour of Bathurst from 2SRL ACC. Let's see if I can remember my keys
now. It was a fun race.
We'll jump onto the interview screen.
Let me tag them and Hagrid interview. Alright. Oh, yeah. So he will move himself in, hopefully. Oh, Carsten actually left.
Well, let's grab Hagrid and Timo then.
Yeah.
We'll grab those two. We'll see what they have to say for this race.
he could also grab Chom Chom as well. He was quite further down. But I think we could do Chris as well. He did catch up those last 10 seconds in the last 10 minutes of the race. So. Wait, I will go fetch him like this.
So there we have it, viewers at home. I hope this has been an interesting stand-in race for you.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
There we have Timo.
Hello. Hello. How you doing, guys?
How does it feel, Timo? You've finally won a race in season 2 of ACC.
It does feel good. I am very happy. It was a tough one. I mean, just because it was Bathurst, and Alex was so quick. Like we were. I mean, there was this World Series qualifying, and he was doing it in the Ferrari, and he was like 3 or 4 tenths quicker than me. And then, like going into this, I was still signed up in the McLaren, and he was as well. And then we both like tried our cars, and we realized, oh god, this is terrible. I can't drive the McLaren here. And then I realized, I mean, I'm P7 in the standings, and I technically don't have a teammate, and I really don't care about my points so far, and I just want to have a nice, like 2 last nice races to sign out for the season. So I decided, yeah, whatever, I'm just gonna drop all my points and go into the Audi, which is 100% legal, and it always was. Like, literally, I made sure this is not just admin privilege or anything.
So I could hypothetically do that as well if I.
You would need to convince Taurus to do it with you, yeah. And then you would both lose all your points, yeah. Then you could. Anyways, like Alex, I am really, really surprised how quick he was. We were talking before the race, and he said he had done like 5 laps, and they were terrible. And then he went into the race, and he was so close, up my ass all the time. And luckily, when he entered the pits, he made like a big mistake. I don't know what he did, but he hit the wall and gave himself damage and lost time. I don't know if you saw it on screen. And I had a pretty bad pit stop and pretty bad in-laps. I was shaking for the entire first stint, and then I came out in like 4 seconds ahead of him, and then I finally settled in, and not the clones tells you to settle in indoor.
You settled in properly.
The actual settling in, right? So from there, I was like, it was good. Like in the first stint, I was just driving like I was just super scared. In every single corner, I always thought I was going to drop the car. There was no confidence at all, which is also why I was so slow. And then in the second stint, like I finally felt the car, and it finally felt like it was supposed to be. And this one makes me really happy because I like don't go out of season 2. Like I don't go from season 1 champion to embarrassing. I mean, it's not embarrassing, but to no podiums at all in season 2. So it's good.
Yeah, but I think you've shown everybody here today that you definitely do still have the pace to fight for these wins. It's just been an unfortunate circumstance of you driving the McLaren for the most of this season.
Yeah, you know that feeling, don't you?
I'm not going to comment on it. I don't say anything on that.
Yeah, I'll see. Like I plan next season to, instead of going back to the Aston, instead I would probably go to the Audi with Wow, who had his debut today. I mean, you saw him, I guess.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate for his debut. He unfortunately caught the curb coming into Skyline. Is it at the top of the hill? Did you make your way to set down? Yeah, he just caught the curb at the top of there, and unfortunately
lost it and got collected as well. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Salmin and her damage. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, with the 10 minutes left, you know, I said, you know, Timo has it in the bag. There's nothing that could possibly go wrong. So.
Why are you doing that to me?
I told him not to. I warned him.
I said I'm gonna take the full blame if something happens.
That's confidence, man. By the way, thank you for commentating. It wasn't planned, was it? So, thank you.
I think we made our best.
Yeah, for Jack it was, but for me, my pedals were broken. But then also my mic keeps dying if I play ACC, so I had to downscale my resolution to like a small window, like a 2x2 window almost. I barely saw the game, just saw my mic work. But yeah, I made it work towards the end, and I think we made it work with Jack, so it was good. It was good.
It was definitely an enjoyable race to watch, especially your fights with Carsten in the first stint. It was very close between you two. I think I saw him almost catching your bumper at one point going into the last corner.
Yeah, I felt that. I got them. I got some nasty Kyle Army flashbacks, if you remember that.
Oh, I do.
But yeah, I'm delighted. I'm also looking forward to Suzuka, which I'll also do in the Audi, and then I'll see what comes of it. Yeah, you can go into the next one.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you very much, Timo.
Yeah, Timo, we're gonna need you to move people.
Yeah, we need you to move Hagrid if you can.
Actually, move.
He's streaming right now.
Oh, should we grab Chris then?
Yeah, he asked. He said we can move him. So,
Hey, no.
Chris, we have taken you from your hometown of General Chat 1 into here for an interview.
I'm standing up.
Okay. Good talk.
So, Chris, P5, how'd you feel?
Shit. Yeah, no. I had P3 for like 25 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got this. Yeah, this is easy. I saw the gap wasn't closing in, and the gap ahead was okay. They were driving away, but I was just taking it easy, minding my own business. And suddenly my TV turns off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I had to look at my desktop monitor, which is across the room, so I could barely see it. I lost about 4 seconds doing that, trying to get my TV turned back on. And then, of course, what was his name? Illigna was up my ass, and then did 2 laps of that. Ollie spun in front of me. And he said, "Oh, don't worry about me. I'm not parked on the race line." Turns out he was parked on the racing line.
Oh, yeah, we saw that.
So, yeah, of course, I went into the wall trying to avoid him. Me being stupid to trust him. Anyways. And then in the pits, it just gets worse here, honestly. In the pits, I go in, I pit, they jack up my car, they start the pit stop, and they just drop it again in the game. So they start the pit stop in the game, it just drops again, and they lift it back up, and then it starts the pit stop. So I think I lost about 7 seconds doing that.
You never like to hear that, do you?
No. And then, I don't know, I was driving, I came out like behind Hagrid and behind, was it Salminen or something?
Salminen or something like that?
Salminen, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just try and catch up. I was catching up until I spun going up the left-hander that leads into the downhill section. I spun going over that. Didn't hit the wall. I did a nice little 360 kind of like Timo did a few days ago.
Yeah, you
and then,
keep getting the rhythm, you know?
And then I was just like, okay, I guess. And then, of course, I hit the wall the lap after. And then I'm like, okay, head down, try and catch up, see what happens. So then I think Salminen slowed down on purpose or something because he was really slow.
Oh, he had massive damage.
Yeah, he got collected at the top of the hill with Illigna.
All right.
Into the
But then
second
suddenly he
stint.
was on pace with me. Like, he was 5 seconds slow as the lap previous, and then the last lap I got past, and I'm like, okay. And then I think the nerves got the best of me as well. Although he did scare the crap out of me going into the last corner, because I'm sort of holding, I don't know, it's a half-assed attempt of defending for me, and then he just breaks really late. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, it did look like a very strong dive. I think we saw it here on the stream, so...
Yeah. And then I tried to do a cutback, but obviously messed that up as well, so P5, yay.
I think you should still be very happy. It was a very strong recovery drive to get back there from the issues you had.
Yeah, it all started with the TV turning off. I don't know why did it do that.
So everyone's having issues completely.
Yeah.
What happened to Milos, if you know?
Milos, I don't know. I think he might have disconnected because he wasn't in voice chat.
Oh,
And then, well, I don't know.
interesting.
I don't know. Did the other guys mention that the brake boards were taken off?
No.
I
know.
heard mention of that in the practice, but I thought they would reset as they went through each phase, or did they not?
They did reset, but someone took them out again. So,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
and that was like on lap 2 or something. So we did the whole race trying to figure out where the brake exactly. I never really found a spot. I just sort of guessed it, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't.
You know,
But-
in practice it was my fault, but you know, I gave you practice for the race. It was my fault.
yes, yeah. Anyways, P5 with a spin, about 15 seconds of damage, my TV turning off, and my pit's not working for some reason. I guess I could be happy with it, but there was a podium and chance. I think this is the only chance I had this season, and that's kind of a bummer.
Who knows
I
what
dunno.
happens in Suzuka?
The second half of your season has been very strong from what I've seen, so
I guess. Yeah.
I'm
We'll
sure
see.
I'm sure you'll find some pace for Suzuka and give us all a nice show there.
Well, I'll try my best, but I can't promise no poor defending on the last lap. Second time I've done this, my god.
Hopefully third time's the charm and you'll defend the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
Really good job, though.
Thanks, I guess.
I guess.
I'm not too happy, but looking at it again, I guess P5's. I can be happy with that with my issues.
I mean, if Ollie didn't spin, he could have gotten quite a few points.
I guess my TV didn't turn off, my Ollie didn't spin, my pit didn't. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Just unlucky, really. But hey, that's racing, so could be happy with what I did.
I would be, mate. I would be.
You drove with no TV. That's quite impressive. Yeah, I think that's it for you.
All
From
right.
us. Is it?
Yeah, I think that's a good point to end it there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So hopefully everybody at home has enjoyed this race, and we'll.
Oh wait, what about Hagrid?
You can pull him in as well. I think he enjoyed his race.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can grab him in, see what you have to
I'm
say.
gonna go fetch.
Oh.
Bye bye, Tim. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for streaming and commentating everything.
It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
despite the
Hello.
panic at the start when we realised Triton couldn't stream, but I think we made it work with what we got.
Yeah. All right, Hagrid, take the floor. I'll see you guys later.
See ya.
Cool.
Bye.
Cheers, Timmy. Timmy? Why did I say Timmy?
Timmy.
I don't know where that came from.
All right, Timmy, let's go.
All right. Bye, Timmy.
Bye.
Alright, nice.
Hagrid, P3.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I'm happy. Yeah. I'm just really happy that I didn't die for in an entire hour. Because in the past week we've been trying to qualify for the SimGrid World Cup series, which we didn't in the end. But at the start, when I was doing practice, I couldn't do 2 laps without crashing, and now I somehow did an entire hour race without crashing. Well, I did hit the wall like once or twice, but it only gave me like 2 seconds of damage. So I'm really happy with that.
I mean, your mentality was probably a bit different, no, for the race in comparison to pushing super hard every lap to try to qualify for something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's the difference. In this race, it was mostly just managing the car, basically. Just like making sure that you're not crashing, and then you'll probably in for a good result, which I did end up getting. I also was a bit lucky on the pit stop because I did that pretty good. I put the car in its position and they immediately lifted it up, so that was some good timing.
That's always a good feeling to have, isn't it?
We saw Karsten lose 5 seconds in the pit stop to Timo when they were like beside each other. So
Yeah, they were really close to each other the entire race.
yeah,
Karsten lost a lot of time there.
yeah, they made got a good nice fight for us. What else is there? Jack, you ask questions. I'm not good at this interview stuff.
Oh, and you think
Yeah,
I'm going to be any better?
Oh, definitely.
Well,
tell us about how the car felt around here.
anyway, so yeah, I'm just happy with this podium. Wasn't really expecting it on this track, so yeah.
I don't think there's
Nice.
much more to add to that, really, is there?
Yeah, I think we're out of words.
Yeah, I think that's it for today then.
Yeah, that's definitely it. This was all like so fast too. It was like 5 minutes till the race the quali is supposed to start,
Yeah,
and me and Jack were just setting up the stream here. So
yeah.
Yeah, I noticed because Triton was gonna stream initially, but he had some problems with his internet. I heard.
Yeah, I think it's been a day for technical issues. So
Unlucky. That's all right.
But yeah, thanks very much for this, Hagrid. Congratulations on the podium once again. And
Yeah.
I think we'll end things there for tonight,
so,
guys, shall we?
Is Jack even here to end the stream? I don't know.
Can you guys not hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if Jack is still here.
I'm still here, yeah.
He's streaming, right?
Can you not hear me,
well,
Hagrid?
Hagrid, can you not hear him?
What? No.
Has he
do
got
you
me?
mean?
Has he
Wait,
got
what?
me turned down?
Oh, what the fuck? Why the fuck did I have you? Oh,
Oh, from
right.
D&D.
Oh, I
had
feel
it
like I've just
muted.
been being ignored for the past 10 minutes or so.
Oh, you actually have been. Oh,
no.
I had you muted from when we played D&D.
Oh.
I thought you had yourself muted. So I was like, wait, is he even here? Oh, that must have been really embarrassing.
Okay, you know, Jack, I think you can end it here.
I think we can end it there. Thank you very much,
I think
Hagrid.
we should, actually.
Congratulations on the podium once again, and thank you
Thank
to
you.
everybody at home tuning in. We'll catch you next week for the final round in Suzuka, where hopefully we'll have Triton back to.
I mean, hopefully, was that not good enough?
I just know how much the people here love Triton and his commentating. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. I also want to get my pedals fixed till next week.
Yeah, I know you'd much rather be on the track than rather in the booth here, so to speak.
I have no clue how to commentate for ACC. I feel like the controls are so wonky. I got spoiled by this year's F1 game.
All right, well.
Okay, yeah. Let's
Thanks
end it
very
there.
much for joining me, guys, tonight, and
Thank you.
thank you
Yeah.
for guys at home. Take it all easy. See you guys next time.